Are carnivorous alien hedgehogs about to ruin your Easter celebration? Better call some bounty hunters from the nearest space station. We're talking Critters 2 today on Grover Served. Hi, I'm Tanner Grover. You know, I love holiday movies. There are an abundance of Halloween movies and Christmas movies. I'm always on the hunt for a good Easter movie, where I look no further than Critters 2, the main course. It's a horror comedy from the mid-'80s, and it's over the top in all the best ways possible. But before we get into the details, if you could go ahead and smash that subscribe button, as if you accidentally bobbled an Easter egg and it smashed onto the floor. Hopefully it was a Critters egg and not one of those high-priced ones from the grocery store. That would be great. And while you're at it, go ahead and click that notification bell so hopefully more of me shows up in your feed. A friendly reminder that Grover Served is not a spoiler-free show. For those unfamiliar with Critters, it's a creature feature horror franchise very much in the same vein as Child's Play or Leprechaun, but it never quite garnered the same amount of popularity. I find it wickedly entertaining. The first movie was very much a straightforward horror film about these creatures from outer space, the Critters, or Krites. They eat everything in sight. They turn into little balls to roll around, kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, and they shoot poisonous darts out of their back. They terrorize the Brown family. It's not until bounty hunters come from outer space and eradicate our enemies. However, they left behind some critter eggs, which set the stage for Critters 2. Charlie, the chronically drunk farmhand from Critters 1, is now a bounty hunter in training, getting guidance from Ugg and Lee, the two no-faces. Ugg still looks like Johnny Steele, the rock star from the first movie, whereas Lee hasn't taken a form yet. They get a notification from their boss that Krites have been detected on planet Earth. As they make a return to Grover's Bend, so does Brad Brown, the now teenage son from the first movie. Brad's looking to keep a low profile. He just wants to spend Easter with his nana. But there's not much going on in Grover's Bend, and when the newspaper outlet sees him getting off the local bus, they want to run a headline. Brad Brown is back in town, the boy who cried critter. We get a little bit of setup in this early part of the movie. Brad's arrival catches the eye of Megan, who's seemingly the only other single teenage female in the region. There's also Wesley, who's the jealous Biff Tannen character. He's also Lars from the movie Heavyweights. Then we have Nana, who is in the midst of setting up an Easter egg hunt for the local church. She unknowingly buys critter eggs from local merchant Quigley. He's a town drunk who's been selling them at a premium price from his pawn shop, claiming that they're from Europe or France. I can't quite remember. Anyways, when the eggs heat up and hatch, things go terribly wrong really fast. First, they devour Quigley, even biting half of his foot off in rather brutal fashion. But after that, it's the creme de la creme of every killing in the movie, as we get a rather unforgettable assault on the Easter Bunny himself. Our bounty hunters arrive to kill the Krites and try to restore peace to Grover's Bend. It's here where we begins the first of their many transformations throughout the film. First into a Playboy model, then into a nerdy cashier, almost into Freddy Krueger, before being turned back into the Playboy model. Brad and Megan go to recruit the help of the town's ex-sheriff, Harv, who was from the first movie, but is now played by a different actor. This guy wants nothing to do with the critters. He gets in his car and leaves town. You guys are on your own. I'm not dealing with that mess. Meanwhile, the critters are terrorizing the living hell out of Grover's Bend. They're knocking over people like bowling pins, and then they go into the Hungry Heifer and have themselves a smorgasbord. That is until Ugg and Lee show up to save the day. They fire away with their space cannons, forcing the critters to retreat into the shadows. Lee aims to finish the job and goes down a dark alleyway. Don't you know you never go down a dark alleyway? The critters organize an assault and kill Lee, leaving nothing but an arm behind. The sight freaks out Ugg and causes them to go into shock and turn back into a no-face. The surviving townspeople gather at night and pretty much all point fingers at Brad Brown. Before he came back, everything was peaceful. This was all his fault. It's not until a returning Sheriff Harv comes back that he's able to talk some sense into everyone, and they devise a plan to get rid of the critters once and for all by leading them into a nearby burger factory. They'll lead them in there, board it up, blow it up, and then everything will be safe and sound. And it appears to work, right? Right? Nah. The critters get together and they form a critter ball, exploding out of the building and then mowing down people left and right. You know, all good horror movies, the villain never dies, right? You can't kill the monster, and you can't really do it here either. And now they're headed for the church, where all the children are. It's not until Charlie, who had gone AWOL earlier in the film, gets in the spaceship, flies into the critter ball, destroys them once and for all. He's a hero. We love the guy. Before I go ahead and rate this film, if you can remember to subscribe to the channel, especially if having fun watching me make these little videos, I'd really appreciate your support. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and have to give Critters 2, the main course, 2 glasses of wine. It's far from a perfect film. It's pretty campy, at times pretty corny, and there's some continuity errors, right? At one point, this little girl in the church watches a guard get murdered by the critters, and then moments later, she's in the middle of a field on her tricycle getting chased by critters. It makes no sense whatsoever. But I have so much fun with the film from start to finish that overall, I really find it enjoyable. It cranks it up to 11, which a lot of horror sequels tend to do. Child's Play 2 compared to Child's Play 1. Go back and watch it. It's over the top, and that's the case here as well. I think that Critters deserves a good reboot, especially now. I know they've tried to do some things with it. There was a short-lived television series, and even in 2023, there was a Critters short. But with a good budget and a good story, I'd like to see this creature feature make a return. Let me know what you think of Critters 2 in the comments. And also, let me know how you plan to spend your Easter Sunday. Alright, thanks for tuning in to Grover Served.